all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning and happy Monday to you. You're listening to the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint with me, Alex Matthew. Today is the 27th of May. With elections out of the way, market watchers will likely now switch focus to earnings and the monetary policy of the Reserve Bank of India, which is only about 10 days away. That said, we'll keep getting news and updates on the formation of the new government and who takes which portfolio. Narendra Modi will be sworn in as the Prime Minister for a second term at the end of the week. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Foreign Office in Islamabad has said that Prime Minister Imran Khan on Sunday spoke with Narendra Modi, congratulating him on his electoral victory and expressing his desire to work together. In corporate news, infrastructure major Larsen & Toubro has raised its stake in Mindtree by about 2% between the 20th and 24th of May by picking up shares worth over 316 crore rupees. This is important in the context of the takeover battle for the company. L&T has already acquired around 20% stake in the mid-sized IT firm from VG Siddhartha and Cafe Coffee Day and is keen to increase its shareholding to 66%. A single authority for sanctioning and processing goods and services tax refunds is in the offing as the Finance Ministry looks to speed up and simplify the process for exporters. As per the system being worked out by the Revenue Department, the taxpayer will get full refund from his jurisdictional officer once the claim is sanctioned, while at the back end, the central government and the states will apportion the amount to be paid to each other. The Commerce and Industry Ministry has proposed cutting down compliance time to just 1 hour per month for startups as part of measures to ease regulatory requirements for budding entrepreneurs. In international news, US President Donald Trump and his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe sit down today in an attempt to resolve tensions over trade and defense ties. Trump acknowledged yesterday that a trade deal wouldn't occur during the trip, saying that nothing would be finalized until after Japan's elections in July. The two leaders spent much of Sunday together, golfing, attending a sumo match and dining, while trade negotiators have been meeting separately to hammer out a deal after Trump threatened to raise auto tariffs. Fiat Chrysler Automobiles is poised to announce an operational tie-up with Renault SA as early as today that could lead to a full merger of the two companies, which would create the world's third largest automaker. That's a Bloomberg report. The deal could involve an initial exchange of equity. Renault's existing alliance partners, Nissan and Mitsubishi, aren't involved at this moment, but they would be invited at a later date to join forces with the merged Fiat Renault. An inevitable fallout of the trade war between the US and China is pressure on the currency. China, for its part, has already fired a warning shot to scare off speculators. This after a recent slide took the currency to the brink of the critical 7 per dollar level. Guo Shuqing, who is the head of China's banking and insurance regulator, said in a speech that speculators shorting the yuan would inevitably suffer from huge losses. In international markets, US stocks ended in the green on Friday. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq climbed 0.1% each, while the Dow Jones rose by just under 100 points. In Asia this morning, the early risers are in for similar gains. The Japanese Nikkei was up 0.3% last I checked. Well, with that, it's over to Neeraj Shah to tell you all about the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Neeraj. How are we looking today?
It's looking okay, Alex. The SGX Nifty, of course, indicates a start which is marginally in the red, but I don't think participants would be bothered too much. It's been a very good week, the last one. The close on Friday was pretty strong. FIs continue to pump in money. On Friday's session, they've put in over 2,000 crores in the Indian markets. So the setup is not looking all that bad. keep in mind, almost everybody is looking at the underperformance of the mid caps and the small caps relative to the Nifty, which has been quite stark, and therefore now starting to bet on what the mid caps and the small caps could do. There is some criteria that has been laid out, or suggestive measures that have been laid out by the Reserve Bank of India on NBFCs. So that will be the big talking point today. CLSA believes that the tighter liquidity norms will put pressure on the margins and growth, and NBFCs with ALM gaps, lower ratings and higher funding costs are worse off. So most brokerage houses preferring the larger NBFCs, but do watch out for the NBFC space today. That would be the active one. Also watch out for results in the session today, the likes of Adani Ports and Zee Entertainment, which will come out with numbers from the large cap space, or Motherson Sumi, Interglobe Aviation and Colgate Palmolive from the mid cap space, or the non-Nifty space, which would be the interesting ones to monitor. In terms of stocks that could react, well, NTPC came out with numbers below estimates. Let's see, it's a very stable stock, so difficult to ascertain if it will react negatively or no. But the numbers were certainly disappointing. Adding to the disappointing list of numbers was Page Industries. Revenues were flat. Profit after tax was down about 20%. Margins came off almost 400 basis points. The management has guided to margins of about 20 to 21%, which is what they clocked in. Almost they clocked in quarter four. So let's wait and watch how the stock reacts in the session today. Also rounding up the list of weak numbers were stocks like Cafe Coffee Day, Butterfly Gandhimanti and Excel Industries amongst the small cap space. The stock that will correct in session today was 1% Beverages. The tax department putting out a press release saying that the top management of 1% has been arrested in the GST evasion case. And the department has said that fraudulent units of the company were spread across the country. Expect this stock to react negatively today. But it's not all bad news. While the markets may start off slightly subdued based on what the SGX is indicating, there are some companies that have come out with strong numbers, including the likes of Nagarjuna Construction Company, wherein the margin expansion and the top line and the bottom line growth have been very healthy. Balrampur Chini, after what Dhampur Sugar did, was the other stock that came out with a very good set of numbers. Expect the stock, if not to react positively, at least to stay stable in the session today. And Narayan Hrudayalaya, amongst the small cap names, came out with numbers wherein the profit after tax multiplied almost 4x, and adjusted for other income or adjusted for one-offs, all still went up about 3x, so could react positively in the session today. But there's much more that you need to know on the stock side, so do read the All You Need to Know copy. Back to you, Alex.
Well, that's all we have for you on this podcast, but there's a lot more on the website, so do check it out. That's BloombergQuint.com. Thanks so much for listening. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.